Hello viewers, and welcome to the new weekly music series called Novo Musicians Gallery. I'm Longchar. Glad to be a part of this initiative with Highland Dawn Media to promote known and emerging talents. We have the vision to enable musicians from Nagaland and Northeast India to reach out to wider audiences, including internationally through YouTube, satellite TV channel, OTT, and social media. We invite the musicians of Nagaland to join us in this show, connect with other artists and our viewers to share your story, your music, and inspire others. Today we are glad to have two amazing artists with us, two lovely lady musicians from Kohima. We have Vikhie Rutsa. She works as an administrator and the piano faculty at the Music Academy Kohima, also known as MAK, a reputed music institution in Nagaland. She is also a recipient of the Chief Minister's Scholarship of Music to KM Music Conservatory, Chennai. Aside from her work at MAK, she is passionate about working in church ministry through her gift of music. Rudy, an upcoming songwriter, singer, too is from Kohima, Nagaland. Someday she wishes to become a successful solo artist, open with all kinds of genre, but gospel music has been her main focus. She recently released her original song. What is it called, Azi?
Shapara Amay.
What does it mean?
It means overwhelming love.
Great. When you have time, please check out the YouTube. I think it's under Rudy, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Vikhie and Azi, for coming today. We appreciate your willingness to participate here.
Thank you.
Let's
for
start
having
off
us.
and get to know more about you and your music. Firstly, please introduce yourself again individually. Are you both full-time musicians or you have other jobs?
Hi, I'm Vikhie Rutsa, but mostly known as Vikhie. I'm from Kohima village. Talking about my musical journey, I started off my musical journey, my piano lesson when I was in about class 3. But under the influence of my mother, because it was like every mother's dream to see her child play the piano in church. But eventually that led me to pursue music and take it more seriously. And it's been my 7th year as a music teacher, and I'm immensely grateful that I'm able to do what I love most every day.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Azi, what about you?
Hi everyone, my name is Rudy Thonger, but I'm mostly known as Rudy. I'm a singer, songwriter. I recently completed my master's in education, and I love listening to podcasts, different kinds of podcasts. Yeah, and then coming from a music-loving family, my journey towards singing started, I guess, when I was a toddler. So listening to music every day, my parents observed my love in music, and they made me take vocal classes. So initially, I started taking vocal classes and underwent for like 3 years.
Great.
And since then, I used to take contemporary classes.
That's great. Amazing. What is your favorite podcast?
Jay Shetty.
Interesting. I don't know about that podcast. But anyway. Anyway, so how has your job or studies supported or affected your musical career? Both of you, maybe Azi can start.
Yeah. Okay, so right now, as I've mentioned, I've completed my master's. So my journey towards music, it didn't really affect. I think so far, nothing has been like a hindrance towards my music.
Okay, that's great. What about you, Vikhie?
For me, thankfully, I was able to just identify or recognize what I'm called for. So I wouldn't say it, affected my study or anything as such, because right from the start I knew what I was called for. So right after my studies, I, started teaching. I'm into full-time teaching now at Music Academy Kohima, and also I have a home studio. So that's where I teach my private students. Yeah.
Great. What did you study other than music, the other degree?
I did my master's in sociology.
So both of you are degree holder, huh? So it's such a very good encouragement for other musicians now how we can balance being a professional musician at the same time, successfully finishing your studies, especially not even graduating, but doing your masters. That's amazing. So, what is the most difficult challenge you faced as an artist, as a musician?
I wouldn't say it's like the most difficult challenge, but something that, as a musician, not just me, but in general, that we face is, we are still living in a society where people expect you to have a secure job, just to get a tag of being really employed. But speaking from a music educator's perspective, as long as you are loving your job and you are satisfied with it, there's opportunity that's coming up over and over again, and that's going to keep you occupied, and also, it's something that's helping you to make a living out of that also. So I just want to convey a message there as well that, we are satisfied and we love our job being musicians, and we want more support rather than more criticism sometimes, yeah.
So yeah, there are like dozens of problems and challenges that we face as an artist, especially while we are as a musician, if we're like pursuing music like as a profession. And there are stereotype backlash problems that we face in the society, where we as a musician or any artist, we get less recognized or acknowledged for our work. So yeah, I think these are some of the challenges that we face in general.
That's good. What motivates you the most to create music?
Okay, so if you listen to my music or the song which I recently released, I'm mostly motivated from Lauren Daigle or some worship songs because of the lyrics and the harmonies of the song. So yeah, I think I'm mostly motivated for that.
That's great. Vikhie, do you have any input on that?
Yeah, likewise, I love Lauren Daigle, and since I'm more into church music setting, I love the Maverick City, the collaboration that they do with several artists. I love that kind of music. So yeah, that's what keeps me motivated, being a church music artist, I should say. Yeah.
Great, great, amazing. How do you develop your skills, or how do you define success as a musician? You can
Practice.
practice, definitely.
Yeah, practice and experimenting with music. And as I see this, I'm challenging myself as an artist, as a music teacher, because we tend to ignore our own self development because we are so engrossed with helping another person to learn. So I think as I see this, we need to really practice and experiment with different kinds of music. Success to me as a musician, I'm coming back to being a music educator's perspective again, because I'm from that background, but just helping someone enable that person to grow in that particular field, and making them accomplished and grow in that particular field. I think that's success to me as a music educator. Right.
How many hours do you practice a day?
Oh gosh, don't ask me that. If I get time, I can be there for 3-4 hours as well. If not,
You're flexible.
Very flexible.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Okay, what about you, Azzy?
So yeah, for me, like it's a tip maybe, or even me, I used to practice that. Before you perform, while practicing, you record your voice, and so that you will know where your mistakes are.
True.
And then secondly, believe in yourself, of course, and then always take like vocal. For me, as a singer, I always take contemporary classes before my like performance, or like take vocal lessons. And for me, if anyone is inspired, even if one person is inspired or blessed with my song, like I think that's a reward for me. And then of course, singing while earning, it's a big achievement for all of us, I suppose. Yeah.
That's great. Could you describe how music is important to society?
Okay, so we all know that music, it helps us to relieve our stress, anxieties, or anything that's going on. And then it is important in our society because these days, not these days, but it has been going, like a lot of people, or even our parents, they are more focused on giving examinations or like all this stuff. So I think in our society, music is important because it unites people.
Okay,
yeah, and then it is a bread and butter for the people, like for the musicians or not as an artist as well.
That's good. Vikhie?
So, if we look into our society here in Nagaland, we find music everywhere playing a very, major, important role. So any event organized by the government or any organization, be it a political event or be it social gathering, any sort of celebration, or even a time of mourning, we find music here in Nagaland like playing such a, very important role, just being very therapeutic, as well as bringing that warm aura, in any kind of setting here. So that's how important music is in a society, just bringing people together, just giving that feeling of, happiness, consolation, and any sort of, feeling that you want during that time. So that's how important it is, I feel.
That's right. And we Nagas, coming from our forefathers being farmers, how they would just chant, sing, and work, how I don't know, a supernatural strength. Right. It gives a supernatural strength probably. We'll continue with our interview, but right now let's change gears slightly. In this show, we wish to support and showcase firstly our musicians and secondly our local entrepreneurs by presenting and showing their original products to a large and diverse audience through media. So let's check out our co-sponsors for today's Novo Musicians Gallery episode. The sponsors are Munhe Handmade, I'm very sure I pronounced it very well, and Rutsa Collection from Kohima. These local businesses have graciously given us some gift hampers for our guest musicians here for this show. And today's special gift items are designed by Munhe Handmade and Rutsa's Collection, crafted and owned by the accessories designer Abi Vikhie. I think that is how it is pronounced. This jewelry venture has been capturing hearts around the states of India and beyond, like South Korea and Singapore. Her designs have left an indelible mark. With a passion for Naga traditional designs and an unwavering commitment to quality, Abe has garnered a devoted clientele, and many appreciate her ability to seamlessly blend tradition with modernity, resulting in sophisticated and inspiring jewelry pieces. Her Instagram handles are at Munhe Handmade. The other one is at Rutsa_collection. For today, our producer Ate Ri will present this gift hamper by Munhe Handmade and Rutsa Collection now to our musician guest. So I call upon Ate to come over and hand over the hampers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
These are definitely some custom-made, beautiful ethnic Naga accessories for women. You can just show it
really
to the audience what you received. Those are amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We wish to invite more local businesses and entrepreneurs as partner sponsors for this music show. As a local businesses, let's together support arts and music in our region. Your sponsorship could be in the form of a products gift hamper or advertisements for your firm, during the program, and advertisement break as can be seen in this episode today. Thank you for that sponsor break. Now back to our interview. So Vikhie and Azi, during your many live performances here and there, for example, Azi, recently your performance at World Music Day at Heritage Kohima recently. What were your observations? What is that you would like or prefer to personally see happening around you?
Okay, so for me, I have like no, like I wouldn't say it's a negative observation, but then I would love to see more upcoming artists, and like maybe this time it was more of like a band performance and less like solo artists or duet or like that. So I think it'll be good if they can also promote like more like solo, duet, or any like artists. Or yeah, I think World Music Day it's about all the artists. So yeah, if it's like all kinds of genres. So if they can also promote like if they can also invite choirs maybe.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
That's good. What kind of music do you listen as an artist, Azi, and who are your type of artists you appreciate?
For me, I'm open with all kinds of genre, as you have mentioned earlier. But then my sole focus has always been a gospel song, and then my like favorite artist maybe it's Samantha Harvey.
Okay.
And then Adele. Yeah.
That's great. Vikhie, do you have any favorite?
I do have favorites, and I think we are from the same, interest background. I think coming to do with like worship, church music. I like Tasha Cobbs, the worship leader, very
she's
powerful,
she's great, yeah.
right? And Lauren Daigle, and I mean, I'm open to any sort of music artist. Like I can dive in to any kind of music depending on my mood, right? So yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. If you can collaborate with any artist, who would you pick? Vikhie first.
Oh gosh, here in Nagaland or?
Okay, maybe one Naga artist and one international artist. Yeah.
I mean, to collaborate, I think Abdon is doing really good.
Great,
So I mean, he's a solo artist. Of course, he has a band, but yeah, I think that would be great. And then Maverick City. I really wish, it's in the bucket list. Of course, I don't know. I think it will never happen, but it's
No,
just
you should keep your faith alive. Anything can happen, right?
Yeah, right. That's true.
That's great. What about you, Azi?
For me, it was always a wish to collaborate with Sievino Chuzo, and I think very soon we're coming up like with the music.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
And then international artist Samantha Harvey, as I mentioned. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Please share with us about your significant performances or awards, if any, Azi.
Yeah, for me, I have, by God's grace, last year the WMC Witness Music Conference, they organized a gospel solo competition where by God's grace I'm the winner of that inaugural WMC.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Okay.
Thank you.
Vikhie, do you have any?
Coming from a music educator's background again, I've had 5 to 6 workshops this year, music workshop in and around Nagaland, and God willing, there's still more coming. So yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Workshops. We need to really help our own people educate.
Yeah.
That's very good. Okay, next to a larger question, what are your views or observations on music scene in Kohima? Firstly, and Nagaland maybe generally.
Now I mean I take so much pride to talk about music scene in Nagaland. Just seeing how the musicians are growing, accomplishing, and thanks to and kudos to the artists who are working so hard, bringing laurels to our state, to North-East, to India as well. And to think about, if I have to say something about my observation about music scene in Nagaland, I think the one platform that is really helping the musicians is the church. I really believe that because almost all the artists of Nagaland who are doing really well, their first step was from church,
Yeah.
you know, and
All of us.
yeah, very true. So that's where, you know, we take the first baby step, and I think we need to give credit to the church as well.
Very much.
Yeah, you know, for example, like just to overcome the stage fright as well, being an artist.
True.
For me personally, I overcame my stage fright, camera fright, I should say, through church.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one, you know, platform that we have that has really helped the musicians of Nagaland especially. Yeah.
Very good point, yeah, Vikhie. Yeah. Aziz, do you have anything to say on that?
Okay, so like I've said, music at this present scenario in Kohima has been drastically improving day by day. So my point is give more efforts, dedication to what you are wishing to do, and yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, that's good. Okay, what do you think are some ways through which the music industry has influenced our local economy? Vikhie.
In a lot of ways, I should say, because back then, if you were mentioning about our forefathers, you know, chanting, but they don't get money out of that. They don't do that out, you know, to gain monetarily, I should say, but out of pure love and passion for music. But now, as an artist, you know, you go to a wedding, you are hired to be a musician. You go to a concert. Sometimes we are invited, but sometimes we are there to play, you know, and you get paid for that. For example, like Hornbill Festival, that's like one of the biggest platform for Naga artists to showcase their talent, as well as getting paid for what we are doing. So yeah, in a lot of ways, that's how, you know, it's helping the local economy. Yeah.
That's great, that's great. Aziz, you have anything to say on that?
These days, there are lots of organizations who organize different concerts or any like business has in where they promote the local like
Artists.
local artists and
musicians,
so I think any, not particularly an organization, but if there is any concerts or if there is any such programs where people gather, so from there a lot of local business they are benefiting. Example, the recent World Music Day.
Interesting. Well, Vikhie, as you are in the classical music genre, what are your comments and observations about your genre here in Nagaland? Yeah, the classical genre here in Nagaland.
I think we are very much influenced classically, I should say, because the syllabus that we use in schools,
True.
you know, it's more of classical. Of course, we have different genres like rock and pop, rock school, everything. But you know, classical. You go to any homes in Nagaland, like, and you find kids playing a piano piece. You'll see how they are, really influenced by classical. So that's how we are classically influenced, I should say, and we are able to celebrate more of classical music nowadays because. For our Naga society, it's boring.
True.
That
was what I thought also.
To attend a classical, concert, it would be so boring. But we are able to recognize and, celebrate classical music more now. So yeah, that's my observation, and we are really happy about that as well.
Yeah, even me, I'm slowly falling in love with Mozart and Beethoven.
Right,
I don't know.
right.
After all these years being a musician, something about classical music, the foundation every musician should have. That is what I think.
And I think it's to do with the education as well.
Right,
how the teachers are promoting the love for classical music to every kid.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, true. And how could classical musicians showcase or highlight their performances here in Nagaland?
We have platforms coming up, I should say. One is the YouTube channel, our Instagram, social media handles, That's how people are now promoting their talents, and especially like to do with whether it's classical or any other, we are able to promote ourselves as an artist. That's one huge step. And another thing is, I would recommend is the Brillante, the Nagaland Piano Festival that we are part of. So that's the only multi-genre music festival in India, and we celebrate classical piano. we celebrate classical music there. So that's where we have competitions for all categories, for young and old as well. So that's one platform, one of the biggest platform I should say, that
True.
where we are able to promote classical music here in Nagaland.
Yeah, brillante. I think you already had 3.
Yeah, hopefully we are having the 4th edition
Great,
this year.
great.
Yeah.
Okay, what inspired you to get into music and making it to this point? And what are your future goals and plans?
My inspiration would draw back to my grandparents, I should say. My maternal grandfather, he was the first member of a Naga choir, which was formed in 1954.
Interesting.
Yeah, and my maternal grandmother, she was also part of the first musician, back then, trained by the American missionaries there. So she learned a bit of trombone, a little bit of piano there. So I think that's how, one way or the other, it really influenced me as a musician. And I would love to say that, I'm carrying on the legacy from there on.
Yeah,
so
you should pass it on.
right. I really hope so. So that's one that inspires me. And, just working alongside with the other musicians in school or, any artist I draw inspiration from there as well. How hardworking they are, how they're able to juggle their time and to practice, to give time to make covers or write their own songs. So I can draw inspiration from any sort of musician or, yeah.
That's great. That's great. As you have anything to say? Yeah.
Coming from a music-loving family, like all my families are musicians, and I can, like, we have the same, like, similar stories. Yeah. So I was very fortunate that my parents, they have a ministry, so they always go they always go outside for any particular programs, and they always take me. They let me sing sudden performance. Yeah. So my mom, she always wants me to become a singer. That was like her wish. So that's how I started singing, and I think that's how it started and inspired me as well.
Both of you definitely are very fortunate, I should say.
Yeah.
Okay, continuing with the question, what are your future goals and plans, Vikhie? Yeah.
As a music educator, I would want to, get better at what I do, what I'm doing right now. Upgrade myself, my knowledge, my skill as a musician, and hopefully be a more influential music mentor.
That's great.
Right.
You're already influencing a lot of youngsters, I know. So yeah.
Thank you.
Azi?
My future plans, I don't have any big plans, but it's small achievements that I want to succeed. So first of all, I wish to become a successful solo artist. And secondly, I want to learn more music instruments. And thirdly, I'm still battling what I should do for my future goals. I'm still thinking if I should go for a PhD or end up
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. You play any instruments?
I know a little bit of ukulele and piano.
Okay, that's great, yeah. What about you, other than piano?
Just piano, I should
Okay.
say. A little bit of basic, yeah.
Okay, I thought you also know Kung Fu. Anyway, what would be your message for artists, musicians?
My message will be let's uplift and support one another as musicians. And most importantly, let's work hard and let's be a good testament of how following your passion can lead you to a life well lived.
True, that's good. Yeah. Very good. Azi?
Focus on the present. Whatever it takes, give it all. And above everything, always trust in God.
That's also a very amazing point, yeah. Now back to the show. We will give time to our music guest to showcase their unique talent. Before you sing, Azi, would you like to share with us what song you'll be singing and why did you write, how did you write, the meaning behind it, the story behind it?
I'll be singing my original song, Shapara Amai, which means overwhelming love. This song is about, it's an ode to God, how God has been gracefully guiding and protecting me throughout my life. I wrote this song with my cousin sister. She's like more of like my mentor. Her name is Agali Kiho.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a really, really good songwriter. Yeah. So I'll be singing that song. Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you.
Singing my praises to the glorious one, to the one who saved me, to the one who healed me. Namai mukodina tachi kanyang Abam tree chomi chat singra kata shapara na amai Machang kayang lilam la achomang ta akukya Machang kayang lilam la akanyang Im na tu makyang re na zina ikam chono ko talina na ching te talina iya re iya pam na kakuche chere na chayutsi ko along di na kyang apam chere imawa ko na siya para mahina machang kayang lilam la at chomata akukya kamchono talina ko talina Talina, ko Talina, Talina, ko Talina.
That's great, Azi. Thank you. Next, for information, we also have a NMG blog which is dedicated to all participants, musicians, singers and songwriter of Nagaland, including both of you. Blog web address is given below on the screen. Do visit the website to know more about our guest artists, upcoming performances, and give your valuable comments and suggestions too. Another interesting information for all, our music series NMG will further be aired or broadcast on the satellite TV channel or OTT over the top channel, seen and podcast all over India very soon. In addition to what you said earlier, Vikhie, about how important music is beneficial to our society, I feel it's very important. So can you elaborate more on this vital issue for musicians and artists in our society?
Speaking of that, coming from a church background, we have a lot of Christian music artists coming up. But one thing that we are still behind is that, church, when it comes to church, I would really, want to encourage the church as well to pay musicians,
True.
because when it comes to church, we often think that as a free gift to the church, or, since it's a gift from God, we expect them to do it for free. But how do we promote an artist from a church if you're not getting paid? Because we invest so much to learn music, we invest so much just to be where we are today. So you cannot expect an artist to just come and perform free and go away. So I think the church can really emphasize on that as well, paying the musicians. And coming to the other artists, apart from the Christian music artists,
I think it's not just about promoting someone's video or put it up on your status, but I think we have to really encourage one another, because in our society we tend to neglect that, or try to make a meme out of someone instead of encouraging that certain artist. Yeah, so I think we can really boost and encourage one another, be there for each other. When someone is hosting a show or doing a concert, be there, turn up for that person, even if you don't know him or her personally. So I think that's very important as an artist, supporting an artist, or even if you are not an artist, show up, and then and that's how we will be able to encourage and then promote one another, and also help that artist to make a living out of that. I think that's very important for me personally.
Yeah, to add up, I think even in weddings, they don't mind spending lakhs and lakhs of money on decoration, but when it comes to paying an artist, they're like, I don't know, maybe it's because in every household there's at least one Naga who can sing. So we really don't value the importance of being an artist, being a musician, and to the point where, like, I mean, if you get invited to sing in a wedding, you have to at least buy a new shirt at least, clothes, or be presentable, and you just get a handshake and thank you, and that will never be happen. I think in Nagaland, we are really not. I mean, it's happening, but I still feel like we still haven't come to a place where like musicians and artists are honored. Yeah, right. Can you also do you have any experience to share regarding that, Azi?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And then I have an experience. There was this one man. He called me and he asked like, "Are you singing?" Are you singing? He literally approached me like, "Are you singing?" And I was like, "Yes." He asked my charges and I told like this much, and he literally cut off my call. So I got really disappointed and pissed off. So I told my dad like to call him back and like at least say something on regard of that. So I think anyone, including me, we all should like be like humble ourselves and appreciate and know how to talk with the person whom we are approaching for, like with anything, because I mean even though the answer is a yes or no, I think that person should talk nicely.
True.
Yeah, whatever the decision may be, I think,
Respect.
Yeah, respect.
That also shows like how we are just an option.
Right.
Yeah. And coming back to the church, you were saying about payment, nah? The word honorarium also, it involves money. Right. I mean the original translation. So it's just not a word of mouth like I honor you. Right. It always involves a monetary thing. I've been there, and I know a lot of artists who who are not from a good family. They want to serve the church, but they hardly have taxi fares. They don't have money to buy guitar strings, and practice during practice, so many things are happening, and you can't like going to the church stage. You have to be presentable. So I think church also should be sensitive in this area, where I'm not telling them to pay salary type, but honorarium. We should not be. I mean, if something happens to the lights, the electricity, I'm very sure they will bring some professional to fix it. Yeah, but to sing in the church, when we bring up the issue of money, we are take like antichrist, not biblical. So I think that is also a very important point.
But in addition to that, when I say that, it doesn't mean that every time you perform, True. It's not that, but you have to honor that certain musician that you have assigned in the church, for that certain purpose, so that he or she can also feel secure being there under their roof.
True.
And then, like you said, we have to make we have things to pay for.
True.
And so for all those reasons, I think it's high time that the church also focus on that as well.
Very much. This is a very sensitive topic. We can dig more, and we can also attract a lot of criticism, but this is the fact. If you look at the Bible, I mean, the Levites were well taken care of. So likewise, the church musicians people who are like committed every Sunday, or especially in the worship team, I think they should also be well taken care of. Yeah. Okay, beside church, let's come back to the government, the NGOs, and all those community programs. What is your say on that?
as an independent artist, as Vikhie has mentioned earlier regarding the time and efforts that we give, so for us, it really means so much for us because we give a lot of dedication and efforts towards our performance. And then for me personally, I have stopped depending on my parents. Not stop, but then for this kind of
Trying
small
to stand
thing,
on your
yeah.
feet, yeah.
So even to ask like 10 rupees or 50 rupees, I always hesitate. Not always hesitate, but I tend to hesitate. So we take like hire taxis for our like travel expense sometimes. So I think not anyone, but the government or any organization who organize any kinds of occasions, I think they have to learn how to give our payments on time instead of like keeping on pendings.
True. Okay, so you mean to say whenever you perform for the government shows or maybe the other NGO shows, sometimes your payments are not paid on time.
Yes, yes.
I also understand the fact like sometimes I feel like the government, they have enough money and they have already released it, but it's also the middleman who comes in and take away some of our shares, I guess. So the middleman should also be careful about all this matter, I guess, yeah?
These days, social media is taking a big platform for promoting like different artists, and the government, they have like bigger, how should I put this?
Support.
Yeah, bigger support. So I think the government should help the artists in promoting the artists in social media platforms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and I also find like the government are just promoting some certain artists, and I see these people in all the shows for almost 2-3 years now. Do you think like that's justice? Because we have, I'm not comparing, I'm not saying that these are bad or these are better people, nothing like that, but Nagas, the pool is very big now. Do you think like it's important that the government take turns to promote different genres, different artists? What do you say about it?
Yes, of course. There are lots of like upcoming artists. I won't say like upcoming artists, but then there are lots of good and dedicated artists who wants to be recognized. But because of less opportunities or platforms, they're not recognized. So I think any governments who are like helping the artists, they should also look into that.
See, for me, I'm a Christian artist. I have tried to be in such kind of performing artist, but it didn't work out with me. So I really can't understand. I really can't say a lot on all these things. But I have noticed something also in the music industry in Nagaland where the fresh ones, the new ones, the good ones, they'll use it, paying them less. And once they come to a place where like they started to understand the scenario, they understand how things works, then they start to speak up their right. The government will drop those people and pick up another batch of. I've also noticed something of like that. Do you have any add up on that? Will you guys agree with me on that point?
Yes, I agree up to a certain point. I think it's very important that we are recognized as an artist who are trying to work hard, who wants to get better at what we do. But so you were mentioning about using the same, or not using, but managing or hiring the same artists over and over again in certain events. We tend to see their justification saying that they're refined, they are promoting our Naga music in a higher level. That we agree, we cannot disagree on that. But how can you expect another musician, an upcoming musician, to get better if you're not promoting them?
True.
Yeah. So I think we all need to be given a chance to be promoted, and not in the ways that we always get paid or something. But I think it's very important that we are recognized as artists or as musicians who are working hard and who wants to go higher than what we are right now. So it's very important that the government or any organization identify that issue as well and ponder upon that as well.
and then do something different than what we used to.
True.
Yeah.
True. And we should look beyond Kohima, Dimapur, and Mukchung for that matter. I'm very sure there are so many good artists and musicians towards Mon,
Right.
Zenaboto, Longleng, towards Peren. I don't know. Only the Kohimian, the Dimapurian, probably maybe sometimes the Mukchung people, they are getting most of the platforms. And it's very sad to see that.
Can I add up
Yeah,
to
please,
what she
please,
said?
please.
So adding up to what she said, it might sound quite dependent, always depending on particular label or any contracts. Even though our contracts gets over, I think it depends on ourselves as well. We should not stop giving the same efforts, even though we're not under certain level. I think we ourselves, we have to give our best and continue to work. We have to promote ourselves, in fact. And
Adding up to what you said,
yeah.
I hardly remember getting paid in a sense. Our time, it was all about charities, and I'm not saying I didn't get paid. Through church, I worked as a full-time, so church taking care, but most importantly, God always took care of me. So what Aziz said is very important. We should never lose our focus just because of the government and the payment thing. Because we are pioneering. Sometimes it's very difficult when we pioneer. But we have to make a way for our the next generation to come easily. And I also pray and hope government also understand this. But at the end of the day, money is very powerful. The Bible says the love of money. So this is absolutely because there's so much of money in this industry. That's why somebody wants to take control over it. And that is where the artists are suffering also. But we have to stay organic. We have to just keep fighting. Anything you want to add up? Yeah.
So we have this thought that all musicians depend on the government, to make a living, and I really disagree with that because, like you were saying, and Azi was saying that even if the government is not paying you, you need to you don't stop working hard.
True.
You need to just go ahead with what you are doing because there's lots of opportunities now. And speaking from a music education background, thanks to COVID, I should say, the online digital classes happened, opportunity opened. People considered that as a hindrance for not opening a school, and being there virtually. But for me personally, it was an eye opener, and that was when when people were stuck at home doing nothing. I was there teaching online, and I was earning the same or maybe more, I should say. So we need to stop depending on a certain ministry or an organization to make a living.
True.
Yeah, so it's very important that we recognize that as an artist as well, and don't put all the blame on the government as well.
We cannot just blame the government always.
Yes, because
we have to be creative.
exactly, they have to support us as musicians, but they cannot look at all of us individually. Feed us all of us individually. So it's up to us to work hard and find ways, opportunities, in and around you, or just browse the internet as well. There's lots of opportunities that's coming up for musicians as well, so I think we need to really ponder upon that as an artist.
That's a very good point. No matter how transparent the government is, the government will not be able to sponsor every artist, every musician. We got such a good example where you work something on the social media, you start earning from there. That's a very genuine, very, very good point. Yeah. We have discussed a lot about government and NGOs and their good point, bad points. But even as a society, as a family, do we really value music in our society, in our families?
Talking about family, I think Azi and I both, have been really blessed to have supportive families.
Right, it will be much easier for both of them.
Right. So because I think if your family doesn't support you, your goals, your vision, I think if you won't be able to achieve as much as you can or you desire to. But I'm privileged enough and I'm blessed enough to have supportive families. They make sure that for every performances or for every event that I go to as a musician, they make sure that my needs are met. So before even any event that I go to or for any performances, my family, they make sure that my needs are met, and that's how supportive my family is. So I'm able to venture out as a musician. So but somehow we are still living in a society where we are not really actually able to value music as something that you can really earn and have a stable job, because like I was mentioning earlier, someone will come and ask me, what do you do? I say I teach music. Okay, besides that, what do you do, to make a living?
True.
So what do they expect? Like, they expect me to have another secure job, probably a government job, But to think about it, and I've always had a debate about this also. And, for someone, as someone who loves to go and explore music or any opportunities, I cannot imagine myself sitting in a desk, doing a certain role and then come back home doing nothing. I'm not saying they're not productive, but I think music is very it's something that keeps you active and alive, So it's very important that the society needs to recognize and value music not just as an entertainment, but something that that goes beyond entertainment and that is made secure for an artist, or be it a music teacher, or someone who as a music entrepreneur as well. So
should respect the title.
Right, very much.
Azzy, do you have anything to say on that?
Yeah. So when it comes to family and music, for me, obviously, my family has been so much supportive towards my music career, and I'm like so happy. But according to what I observed in most of the, I'll just include my cousins, like even they, most of my cousins, they really wish to become great musicians, but their parents or like family, they don't like support much. So I think, as what she said, whatever gifts and talents that we have, I think even the families or our parents should see our ability and interest on that as well. And then when it comes to society, as I was like discussing earlier with you, our society, if there is like any secular concerts, there are a lot of people who comes and attend that particular concert. But when it comes to gospel concerts or charity concerts, there are just like few people who comes and support. So I think the society also, or the people, they should also learn how to appreciate and like support, even the gospels and charity concerts as well.
Over the years, I'm very sure, our minds, the society, maybe the family, it's broadening. But I remember stories about where my friend's guitar was broken, like smashed, because he was not studying. Because his father wants him to be an engineer, a doctor, and that was a distraction. We grew up, my time, and when I saw or heard such kind of stories, it was really scary for me. I'm like, should I really pursue music? One good thing about the change that is, especially when it comes to music and musicians, is how music being made compulsory in schools. I think that is also a very good platform, how musicians are slowly being recognized. The importance of like earning through music. Otherwise, like you said, other than a worship leader, other than even the same question, other than working in the church like as a musician, what is your other? How are you thinking about earning? That has been the almost like the same question I've faced also along the way. So I'm happy the society is, there's a small change, I should say, and wishing a brighter Nagaland society. Families being a little supportive about all these things. Thank you, Vikhie and Azzy, for gracing this episode with your lovely presence, comment, and your music. Thank you, viewers, for joining us on this exciting musical journey. We hope that our upcoming music series will entertain you, inspire you, educate you, help you appreciate music and musicians like never before. We will see you soon in our next episode of Novo Musicians Gallery on the same channel. Till then, take care from all of us. Bye and see you soon. Thank you once again to both of you.
Thank you.